What's up guys, Boy here. Today we're doing another video. Today we're taking a look at the D2 Extreme knockoff clone. Let's begin. So the sheath itself is made of like hard plastic, or probably like Kydex, made from something like Kydex or like plastic, hard plastic, with a rubberized, like basically like a rubber like holster, like strap for the thing. And the weird part about it, it's actually meant to be for, and to actually to secure the thing with this rubber piece on here, rubber strap, with some nylon. Basically have Velcro and a basically and a snap-on to snap on the sheath. It has two holes, basically two for the belt. Of 6 giant holes, meanwhile for 2 or 4 long holes, but not big ones, to using like a paracord wrap and all. They have basically of Phillips screws all on this, even including the on top of this piece here. So let's get to the sheath itself. And now we get to the knife itself. Okay, yeah, this one's I'm gonna point about these two. Yes, this is technically basically a rip-off clone of the K-Bar D2 Extreme. Now, the sheath itself wouldn't have this on, but it basically would have like a Velcro, basically a button strap just to hold the knife in there. And the sheath would have been very different too. I mean, and even this one too, because the serrated edge would be a lot different. This one's basically like one of those normal serrated edge. And another thing you could probably know that probably will have is the K-Bar NY on this one, like the K-Bar, you know, and even the NY or Orland NY stamp on the thing engraved in there. This one just plain said stainless. That's about it. Of course, it got the groove. Basically, it got the fuller. The serrated edge have 4 giant big holes. Meanwhile, have of 9 sticking out, but having 6 caved in. The guard is made out of probably the same pot metal or like kind of piece of steel, you know. The tang inside is basically like one of those rat tail tangs, and I would say that's a bad thing, but since it's a K-Bar, or rather, you know, K-Bar knives does have that, but it definitely isn't loose. There's no loose inside of it, so that's pretty good. The handle is made out of rubber, it's like tough rubber, so you probably know. And of course, there's a pin to basically hold the tang in there, and it's actually pretty held up high, pretty held tight. Of course, there's a hole in there for things like lanyards, paracords, and all that. In this version, this particular version, it is those serrated edge, not the plain edge. And also another thing that's probably well known for it is the coating on this would be completely black. So the blade itself on the knife itself would be around about 6/4. Meal for the handle, or the handle itself, would be 5 inches. Meanwhile, for the overall size would be around about of 12 inches. So let's get to the size comparison. The size comparison on the D2 Extreme copy is this is actually bigger than the M7, the USGI M7, but unfortunately it's actually dwarfed by the no, it is actually bigger than the TRS Titan. That's strange. But unfortunately it's bigger than the Haynes. No, yeah. Let's see. Okay, there it is. It's actually bigger than the Pakistani dagger, which it's actually sandwiched in between. So, let's test this bad boy out. So the results out there is this one's pretty crazy. I mean, yeah, it basically was like hanging on a little piece of plastic and pretty sharp to taking the whole bottle out, which is pretty good. Another one is basically the same deal alongside with this one here. That's another cut, like that's another cut here. So that was a little crazy about that one. Also, yeah, this one's not really clean cut level, but I think it's from the serrated edge on that knife. And of course, you got the harder plastic, which didn't went well. You could probably know it didn't really went well. It's basically like actually stopped right here. I like the halfway. It also did the same thing with the, chopping deal, which that didn't went well. That's the best attempt of all things. It's a little smooth, but yeah, this one's a little rough too. Also, this one too. That one's also pretty rough. There's also that one, but that one looked like it didn't cut through it at all. The only thing it did, it basically had the serrated edge, like, going through the thing. And, of course, you got this one right here, which, that one actually did well. Yeah, it was hang like one piece of plastic thread, but, yeah, that one did pretty well, too. So, and this is basically pretty insane about this one, and you could definitely know why. So, when I got this was right after I got, and yes, I know this is going to sound pretty crazy to see this, and yes, I actually did made a previous video about this, and that is that Damascus steel cookery. And brother, what's that? What's that, brother? Yeah, tell me about this. So let me get this straight. This is a stainless steel, and this one right here is this basically alloy steel, as I think I mentioned that in the video where it's like made of alloy steel. Yeah, this thing is pretty prone to easily to rust, which is not good. I mean, that's if you saw my SC code Damascus steel cookery, yeah, this is what happened. It basically just completely rusted all like you could see some of it, and don't worry, that's like unacceptable garbage. It's like it just made it worse, and I think it's because of the temperature or something. But yeah, do that alloy steel. This thing rusted as quick as possible. Even the small knives too. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, this was at the same time when I got this thing, and I think it's my biggest regret I've ever bought. But well, also may not be the best. May be the best because to document of alloy steel cookeries. But this guy itself, you could definitely know this one's actually did well for it. It's somehow, yeah, sure, it is smaller than that cookery, but it's basically a little better than usual. So I'm giving the basically the D2 Extreme, basically knockoff clone, an astounding of a 7 out of 10. It's a decent knife. There's nothing wrong to it. It's pretty fine, of all things. The blade itself is pretty straightforward and did well with it. And it's a not bad piece. It's a not bad knife. But if I get my hands on the real K-Bar D2 Extreme, I could see if that would work. It's more on the level of, if I had to pick between this or this, I prefer this guy. Sure, maybe having a longer distance, but unfortunately there's one thing. This thing rusted quickly. Alloy steel. For stainless steel, probably need to sharpen it. That's probably what it is. And it doesn't really is not prone to rusting as quick as possible, like weeks on end. And you know what's a really funny part about it? This thing here, I haven't touched it for months. Oh, well. Well, I put oil on it, and I actually thought that could work, so and since that's like made of alloy steel, I don't know, but yeah, and to be honest about it, and this is something that I basically don't use a lot. I actually tested once or on that video, and that's it. This one, same here, but it didn't like rusted. So that wraps up the D2 Extreme stainless steel knockoff clone. I'm Martillo Boy, and I'm signing out. I'll see you guys next time.